Hi everyone, a huge welcome to Steve's Kitchen. I've got the yellow peril on today, so it must be another unboxing and review, and it is a huge one this week, guys. It is the Breville Kitchen Whizz Pro food processor. I know it's Breville again. I do a lot of Breville products. I have no association with Breville at all, but Breville, if you want to contact me, leave a message in my inbox. But why did I choose this particular food processor over all the many thousands out there? Let me explain. So firstly, let's unbox this thing. It is a huge box. It's a nice box, glossy, sort of matte combination finish. It tells you some of the features it says here on the box. It has an adjustable slicing and dicing disc, and that's really a nice little feature, and I'll show you that later on. It's got quad blades. It's got a very big blending bowl, so it's got a quad blade. I'll show you that. It's also got a very wide chute. The feed, you can put whole big potatoes through there. It's really great. It's got a 2,000 watt induction motor. Now, induction motors, if you know anything about those guys, they're a brushless motor, very quiet, highly reliable, and hence it comes with a 25-year motor warranty, and that's pretty good. And this model comes with a wonderful accessory storage box, which we'll be taking. That's why this box is so damn big. Let's get it open and have a look what's inside. And it's heavily protected by a polystyrene packing. Let me turn this thing around so you can see. How am I going to get this out of here? Cherry red, guys. They have a name for it. I think it's Cranberry red or something, but I really like the color of this, and it's another one of the things that attracted me to this blender. So inside the box we've got the user manual and the user warranties and things. I'm not that interested in the manuals, guys. And 3 packages. So we've got a nice big 2-litre mixing bowl there. I've got this beautiful red unit here, and we've got this accessory pack which is actually sealed with a little cable tie. I'll just cut that off. And this is a nice little storage box, but I'm going to go through each of these bits individually and show you what's what. And you'll notice straight away, if you saw my Kenwood unboxing of the tri-blade, that the blades on this one are protected. You know, they are sharp. They've even got a little note on there, I think. Where did I see it? Caution, sharp blades. And they're completely protected, so I'm not going to slice my finger like I did with the Kenwood tri-blade. So this is the quad chopping blade, and with those larger bowls you really need the extra layer of blades to make sure that everything gets cut up nice and clean. We've got another smaller blade. Now there's 2 bowls that go with this particular food processor, so this blade I'll explain to you a little later on. This one here, they call it the dough hook or the pastry hook. I don't know whether I'll use that a great deal, we'll see. It might be good for short crust pastries. Another spindle. Now, this is one of the pieces of equipment that really attracted me. These cutters always have a slicing blade, but this one actually has a 18 adjustable. See if I don't know if I can get the blade in there, but can you see the blade here, which is very sharp, by the way? It can adjust in and out, so you can adjust the thickness of the cuts, and you store it in the closed position, so it's safe and it won't cut your fingers. They call this one the whisk. It's meant for sort of whisking up creams and things. I really don't know how that works. It's got a little cut edge on here and just a flat disc. There's a little cleaning brush accessory. Another rubber spatula to add to my increasing number of spatulas. They're like remote controls on TVs. Every time you buy something, you get another spatula. You've got a flip over grating. I think people make a big thing out of these, but I think most food processors actually just flip over. You've got a small fine grating that side and a thick grating on that side. This is a little julienne tool for cutting juliennes. Slicing, that's a really nice, neat little disc. And this last blade in here is a little sort of French fry slicer. And I've seen these at work on demonstrations. They really look very good. And another really interesting point, I'll just show you here. There's a little weighted counterweight. So when these discs spin, it'll just keep that in trim when it's spinning. And that is pretty much it, guys. I'll pop those all back in. They store really nice. I like this box. Now here's the 2-litre processing bowl, and as normal they sort of lock on and off, and I think they've got a switch on there that stops them from operating with the lid off. It's got a pusher there. Now this is quite a neat little pusher. It's got a plastic lid and it's also a measuring jug, which is a nice little touch. The other thing, they have two bowls. So we've got the main 2-litre bowl, and you can use it with a small, I think this is probably about a 1-litre bowl. So if you're working on things that, so you remember that little blade? You remember this little blade that I showed you before? That one will work inside this bowl if you just want to work on smaller amounts. Now here is the quad blade chopper that goes in here, it just sits in there comfortably, and you can see when you've got a big bowl like this, or even with the smaller processors, you quite often get a point at the top here where the stuff isn't getting processed. So this second blade apparently, and I haven't tested it yet, works really well, but I have seen other reviews and it does seem to be very effective. Now another thing that really appealed to me was this massive feed chute here. I mean look, that's a pretty hefty size. It's the biggest potato I've got in the store, and that fits in there pretty effortlessly. Now here is that beautiful base unit that I told you about, and before I plug it in, I'll just show you, I love these little Breville push-pull plugs that they do. I mean, that's an Australian plug, guys. They come in the same design whether you're in the US, the UK, or Europe. Now apart from this beautiful colour, which I really love, it's almost a metallic red, it's really gorgeous. There's not a great deal on the base unit other than the power button. You've got a little timer here, you can just pop this up and down and you can set the processor to run for 5, 10, I think up to about 10 minutes on auto timing. And then we've got a start button and a pulse button, which of course won't work without the top attached. Now the bowl sits at 45 degrees and then locks onto the base. And I'm going to make a criticism here, and then I'm going to explain it at the same time why it's not really a criticism. I've always thought it a bit strange that when it locks into place, the handle goes over the top of the controls at the front. I thought, why doesn't it lock into place on the side? It would be a lot more sensible. But I guess when I'm working from behind to show you guys, I guess to go 45 degree, you'd have to have then the lock, it would have to engage there and lock to the side, and having the handle at the back for locking is not as convenient as having it on the side and swinging it around to the front. So I forgive them that minor indiscretion. So when it's switched on and we've got the top on, the pusher on, if you try to start it, it will just say insert pusher, and what that means basically is you've got to lock it in place, but also you've got to lock this top part into place. So I think that will actually start when I push that over. It's one of the beautiful things about induction motors. They are so quiet compared to the old brush motors, and they last forever. That's how come the Breville can give this a 25-year guarantee on the motor. It really will last that long. Listen. It's a very, very quiet motor indeed. Whether you're pulsing, or whether you're... See, I can even talk over the top of that, it's not irritating at all. Okay, so I'm going to give this a little test, a little demonstration for you. We always keep our bits of bread, ends of baguettes like this get really dry because I make homemade breadcrumbs, and I'm just going to pop these bits of dry bread into the processor. Now this is the way I normally make breadcrumbs, it takes not very long at all. Right, beautiful clean processor. This is the first job it's going to do for me. We're just going to pop that on and I'll start that. And my timer here says 10 seconds. So 10 seconds, it looks to me like I've got perfectly fine breadcrumbs. So there you have it, guys. Make your own breadcrumbs at home. It really is good. Just every end of bread that you get that you don't use, just leave it on the side. It'll dry out naturally. Pop it into a little Tupperware like this, and you can make your breadcrumbs and pop them in a storage container, just an airtight container. I'll just show you with this smaller bowl. This is a 2.5 cup bowl, and that just sits in there pretty much like the other one. You put the smaller blade in, pop that on the top, lock it into place, and there it goes. Now another thing I've noticed about this blender is that the spindle in the center is actually sealed, so even if you fill this thing up above the spindle, it won't leak down. A lot of them have an open core in the center, and if you get too much liquid in there, it'll pour into the machine, but this is waterproof. Right guys, I couldn't resist it. I don't normally demonstrate these things, but I thought with that potato I had out, I might as well use this chip cutter and make some potatoes or French fries. Now it looks like we're going to have French fries for dinner tonight, guys, because I've decided to cut up 8 big potatoes here, and let's just see how quickly this machine will make French fries out of these potatoes. So I'll pop one at a time, I think. Oh, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, will they fit? 8. Let's have a look what we've got. Whoops, I maybe stopped a little early. There's one little slice there. But I have got one huge bowl. I mean, how quickly could you do French fries that perfectly, guys? I've got a big bowl full of French fries. And they are all pretty much perfectly cut. There's a little bit of a round edge to them, but that won't matter. Well guys, thanks for joining me today in this unboxing. I'm really pleased with what I've seen so far of the Breville Kitchen Whizz Pro. It's a wonderful looking and it's a great performing food processor. As always, I'll try and follow up on this in about a year's time, let you know if there's any faults or flaws that I find. But a thumbs up for the time being. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Be good. Guys, thanks for watching. I will put a link above to subscribe to my channel, and I'll put a couple of other links to videos here. Thank you again for joining me. Be good. See you soon.